Thank you, Cairloch, and welcome to the TYs here this afternoon. Minister Chambers, you're very welcome to the House, and I'm delighted to stand before you in support of the legislation you bring into the House this afternoon. This legislation is really important in the view of extending from 20 to 23, and I think the key point of this is to improve cross-departmental working. And when you look at Marine, we haven't had a Minister for State with responsibility for Marine since 2011, and we have had Brexit, and we have our protecting of our shores. I think it's important that the industry has somebody specifically to go to who can then work in tandem with the Senior Minister, who can then ensure that their voices and their policy needs are responded to. The same way when you talk about asylum and immigration, I have worked in the department for the last 5 years. I saw how hard that Minister O'Gorman did work and what a difficulty it was to have it all embedded within childcare, have it all embedded within disabilities. I actually do think plucking it out and giving it a sole responsibility and that laser attention is imperative to ensure that people who are seeking asylum and immigration, actually that it is addressed in a timely, orderly fashion, and we do not find ourselves where Senator O'Loughlin here this morning is talking about not having that go-to. That is really important, and that also responds to the community's needs as well as the individual needs. It's working in tandem with our local authorities. It is also working with our justice system. It is working with our childcare system. It is working about the whole of government cross-departmental piece. And finally, the older person piece, I think that's really important, and I think Senator Casey outlined it very well there. The reason being is I've seen how hard that Minister Butler worked with older persons, but I also saw that there was a huge need there in relation to older persons' access to transport, or older persons' access to housing, or also older people who would go into respite but would have the fear actually what would happen to their house while they were in respite or while they were in the nursing home. Would they lose their local authority house? What was their rights? That support, and actually having a minister with a foot in both departments, I think is really important to bring about that policy shift, to work with the various advocacies and agencies to ensure that the voice of the older person, and we have a growing demographic of older people in this country, and I think as I get older, I would like to think that there is an eye on older people to ensure our rights are protected, because with the onset, with dementia, with our capacity, we need to ensure that the most important thing is the roof over their head is protected. So I do think having an older person within the housing brief as well as in the health brief is really important. So that increase on 20 to 23, I think it has been very targeted. I think there's a lot of learning from the previous government to this government as to actually the key factors to the delivery and ensuring that all elements within society are protected, but also within the Department of Disabilities, which Minister Foley is responsible for, and Minister Naughton, that they now can actually focus within that youth department solely on the disabilities, solely on ensuring that the services are funded and provided for. So, Minister, I thank you for bringing this before us, and I am very happy to support along with my colleagues.